The following are my observations and my questions based on my experience and my research. Feel free to listen or not. Either way, do your own research and come to your own conclusions. I have been excited all week at the prospect of being here because I love being with beautiful, handsome, strong faces. And I love the positive energy that comes from positive people. And today I need your help. I love being a positive person and I want to make a positive difference. And today I want to be a positive case. Why do I want to be a positive case? Because positive cases are changing our world and I want to be a world changer. I need you to help me figure out, what does it take to be a positive case? Do I have to test positive on that infamous RT-PCR technique? That stuff they scrape from my nasopharyngeal space, how many cycles do they need to amplify the bits and pieces before I become positive? 35 cycles? 40 cycles? 45 cycles? I can guarantee you at 60 cycles we would all be positive. Do I have to have symptoms? If I need to have symptoms, which symptoms? A fever, a cough, chills, aches and pains, a runny nose, difficulty breathing? I have difficulty breathing if I were to put a mask on. Would that make me a positive case? If I cough in a store because the dry air irritates my throat, is that a symptom? You would think it was. By the way, people take one look at me and run the other way. Do I have to be in close contact with the person who has become a positive case? What exactly is close contact? Apparently, close contact means being less than 6 feet away, measure that, from a positive case for 15 or more cumulative minutes. That means 30 seconds next to this one, 30 seconds next to that one. Try and figure it out, please. Who is measuring? With what? Do I even have to be seen by a medical professional or some kind of a healthcare provider to be considered a positive case? Those who are in the well-paid, fully funded with taxpayer money, trusted media, they use those words many times a day. Do they even know what a case is? We had 1,828 cases on Thursday, December 3rd. How many of these cases were actually put through the irrelevant but now worshipped RT-PCR test? What was the amplification of those machines on that day? How many of these cases actually had symptoms? If so, which symptoms? And how severe and for how long? How many of these cases were only because they were considered a close contact and had neither symptoms nor had been tested? Who did the measuring? How many of these cases were actually assessed by a doctor or any kind of a healthcare provider? Here's another question. Are you a positive case for just 1 day? Or do you stay on a positive case list for 14 days? How many of these cases are actually linked to a person? Does that person know they are a number on that positive case day? I would like to understand exactly what the present definition of a case is. I would like to pull just 1 day of positive cases out of wherever these cases are registered, and then verify how each case meets the criteria. The ideal would be to study the evolution of a case throughout this pandemic. But for now, 1 day would suffice. I have sent these questions to those in government involved directly with this, and I am waiting a response. While I wait, I wonder if you would be able to help me out. Let's all help the media out. Let's help out our politicians. Let's begin asking everyone we can, what is a case? Whoever these positive cases are, they are powerful people. On a lighter note, a number of weeks ago, I decided I want to be a good, responsible citizen. So I went to see my pharmacist. I told him I was interested in getting the annual flu shot. But before I got it, I wanted to know exactly what I would be injected with. It's right here. I asked him if he would be so kind as to give me an insert that comes with each needle. Guys, these are free of charge, go get them. So I could make an informed decision. This insert made me very happy. I could go home and Google all kinds of fascinating information. I'd like to share some of that with you. Did you know that this year we are being given bits of 4 viruses to help train our body to make new antibodies? Even if we never encounter those viruses, and we probably won't, we will have those antibodies. Good stuff, eh? And did you know that with the tiny bits of virus, we are being given all kinds of wonderful ingredient lists? There is an ingredient list on here. It's called the non-medicinal ingredients. You know, the ordinary stuff like calcium chloride dihydrate, disodium phosphate dihydrate, magnesium chloride hexahydrate, potassium chloride, mouth-watering yummy stuff. There is even a bit of sucrose in the mix that comes at the end of the list. They must have read or listened to Mary Poppins, you know, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Before the sucrose, they include a list of ingredients that have only trace amounts. These trace amounts include some real interesting stuff. Again, it's only trace amounts. Stuff like cetyl trimethyl ammonium bromide, and trace amounts of chicken protein and egg. I wonder, is there a difference between ingesting my chicken and protein, an egg, or getting it injected? Just a question. The next one is real fun. Trace amounts of formaldehyde. The last time I was in close contact with formaldehyde was in my anatomy lab. The specimens we were dissecting were preserved with formaldehyde. I wonder, what did they want to preserve, me or the virus? For your reading pleasure, they do include contraindications. You know, things you should possibly discuss with your health worker. Sorry, that was a slip of the tongue. Okay, things you should discuss with your healthcare worker before actually getting the shot. Stuff like, if you think you may be getting sick, maybe don't get it. Or if you have had a serious reaction in the past, maybe don't get it. But the list goes on. Feel free to read and enjoy. And we must not forget to check out the possible side effects. You know, the common stuff like fever, shivering, headaches, joint pain. Kind of sounds like the flu. Maybe check out words like ecchymosis. It's a great way to expand your vocabulary and impress your friends. Or how about the uncommon side effects? Nerve pain. That's not my definition of a good time. Here's another good set of words to check out. Temporary thrombocytopenia. It's a good one to impress your friends with. How about this one? Brain disorders. Interesting. They are uncommon. However, I think this should be in the same category as COVID deaths. One death is tragic. By the way, one death from undiagnosed cancer, one death from untreated heart attacks, one death from the deaths of despair, they are all tragic. I would add to that, one person being inflicted with brain damage, which by the way is not temporary, or nerve damage, which is not temporary either. Any of those uncommon side effects, that too is tragic. Okay, and that was my recommended reading list. Feel free to go get one. That's fascinating, intriguing, potentially life-changing. It's good to have on hand. So we talk about cases and the flu shot. There's one more thing I'd like us to look at, and that's the COVID-19 vaccine coming to a dispensary near you. We will soon be offered another world changer brought to you by Pfizer and Moderna. They were the first to announce how effective their vaccine is. And our government will be providing this vaccine, or whichever other one they choose, to us free of charge. Now, both of these will be delivering a whole brand new, never used before product. Soon to be offered for your injected pleasure will be messenger RNA wrapped up in lipid nanoparticles, and you get to be the first to try this out. So this is how it works. The messenger RNA will be delivered to your cells by the wonderful nanoparticles. Then your cells will follow the instructions of that tiny bit of genetic material, and your cells will make the antigen, the protein that mimics part of the spike around the COVID-19 virus. That is step one. Then your body will also happily make the antibody that will kill off the antigen that your body just made. That way your body will be trained to recognize the part of the coronavirus and then kill off or weaken the virus, theoretically. That's pretty cool stuff. Your body gets to be programmed to produce stuff, the antigen, that your body will then kill off. Now help me understand. How is that mechanism different from the autoimmune disease I have walked with for many years? My body has decided to form antibodies to something my body creates. In my case, it is the acetylcholine receptor that is affected. Life has not been easy with an autoimmune disease. Ask anyone who lives with myasthenia gravis, MS, Lou Gehrig's, lupus. The list is long. Pray tell me, why exactly should I offer up my body to be a guinea pig for this vaccine? And while you are answering my questions, please tell me, if my body can form antibodies to this particular part of the coronavirus that now has been created by my body, would it not be able to form antibodies to the virus in the first place, if the virus had come into my body the more ordinary way? And while you're at it, please tell me, what are the non-medicinal ingredients that will be injected at the same time? I believe Moderna is offering up PEG, or polyethylene glycol, as one of their adjuvants. Sounds delicious. What are the contraindications? When shouldn't I get the virus? What are the side effects? Both the ordinary side effects and the uncommon side effects, and I would add to that the long-term side effects, like autoimmune diseases or sterility. Do these manufacturing companies even know? No, they don't. They have been in trial form for months, not years. And while you are researching, have them explain just how will the messenger RNA affect your own DNA. Have them explain what exactly your body is going to do with the lipid nanoparticles. While you are researching, maybe check out the track record of these companies. How safe are the products that they have made? Pfizer's been around for a long time. Check it out. You will be hard-pressed to find a track record for Moderna. They are the new kids on the block. This is their first kick at the can of a vaccine. Maybe while you are at it, check out how much their CEOs have made as they sold stock off conveniently on the same day they announced how effective their vaccines were. These are only two of the many companies making a vaccine. They are not all alike. They don't all use mRNA. Some use DNA. Some use bits of the virus introduced into our body, Trojan horse style, in another virus. Let's take the time to do our research and ask the questions of our medical professionals and our politicians and our trusted media. This is a new product. It must not be imposed or mandated or coerced. We are human beings with rights given to us by our Creator. We are not lab rats in cages to be injected with pharmaceuticals and then observed. This is my body. What I decide to do with that vaccine must be my choice, my informed choice. Mr. Kenney, you have said you will not be mandating the vaccines. You also said you would not mandate masks. Have you gone shopping lately? Try Costco's or Chapters or the Goodwill. You have done nothing to protect the rights of those of us who cannot wear masks. We can't go there, but you can. What are you and your government going to do to protect every worker, from those in the medical field, to construction workers, to teachers, to cashiers, to anyone who still has a job? They deserve the right to choose without threats of job loss. What are you going to do to protect every senior in every long-term care facility? They too have the right to understand what is being injected and to choose whether or not they wish to be injected with this new pharmaceutical. What about the parents of children? What will you do to protect their rights to do what they think is right for their child? What about those who wish to travel? Will you work hard to ensure that we can still fly in an airplane? Without masks, by the way. Or get our license renewed and drive if we decide not to get vaccinated? Your load is heavy, the pressure you face is fierce. You asked for it, by the way, you got the job, so now do it well. We will stand with you if you protect not the interests of big government, not the interests of big pharmaceuticals, not the big stores into which I can no longer go because I cannot wear a mask or a shield. We will stand with you only if you protect us and our rights to freedom and choice. Okay, can I ask you guys to do 3 things? Can you start writing down in detail how this isolation, these mandates, these stupid infractions of our rights have affected you? Write them down in detail. Send them off to Kenny, your MLA, your MP. Send a copy to Rachel Nothy because she just wants to have more of everything. Send them a copy of how it's been affecting you. And also send it off to Global, CTV, CBC, all of them. Everyone else is talking. Let's us talk. What we have to say is important as well. That's number 1. Number 2, shop local. Go to the small stores and invest in them. And number 3, celebrate Christmas big time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lorna. Let's all give another round of applause for Lorna. Thank you so much. She's amazing. Thank you. My friends, do you accept the new normal? No! Louder, do you accept the new normal? No! Will you ever accept the new normal? No new normal! No new normal! No new normal! My friends, to me, one of the saddest parts of the new abnormal is the stripping of our humanity, especially for the young ones that are growing up in this country today. You know, many of us have had the opportunity to grow up in a free nation, to be outside with our friends, to connect with people, to touch what we want, to be with who we want. A lot of people now don't have that. We have our friends, our family, our children are growing up